We are outside the map, and today we'll share everything we know about Toulouse, a city filled with history, charm, art, and science. We'll provide useful information to help you plan your trip to this incredible city, which the Lonely Planet Travel Guide has chosen as the best urban destination to visit in 2025. We will also take a brief historical journey and highlight the main attractions that make this city an unmissable tourist destination. In our next video, we will share our gastronomic recommendations for the region. We'll leave the link in the description once it's ready. We suggest subscribing to our channel so you receive a notification every time we upload a new video, and at the same time, help us grow. Now, let's begin. Today, we'll tell you all about the capital of Occitania, Toulouse. Toulouse is located in the south of France, just a few kilometers north of the Pyrenees, and is crossed by the Garonne River. It is known as the Ville Rose, Pink City, due to the widespread use of red brick in its architecture. We recommend spending at least 2 or 3 days exploring the city without rushing. However, it is possible to visit the main sites in just 1 day. If you're interested in visiting Cité de l'Espace, Aeroscopy or Airbus, we suggest adding an extra day to your itinerary, as these experiences take quite a bit of time on their own. Toulouse offers a CityPass, the Pass Tourisme. For 26 euros, it includes all the places listed in this table, and for an additional 10 euros, you can also get 10 public transport trips. This pass is valid for 3 days and activates upon first use. We'll leave a calculator in the description to help you decide whether it's worth it based on what you plan to visit. In the same calculator, you can also check out the other CityPass, the Pass Explorateurs. We'll leave a table with all the included attractions as well. Also keep in mind that on the first Sunday of each month, entry to all public museums is free. Here's a list of all the participating sites. Since this may change, we recommend checking the official website of the City of Toulouse for updated information. We'll include the link in the video description. The earliest known inhabitants of the area were the Aquitanians, who settled here around the 9th century BCE. These people spoke a Proto-Basque language, related to modern Basque. It is believed that they were the ones who named the city, Tolosa. In their language, Tol meant elevated place, and Ossa referred to a water source, reflecting the geographical features of the original settlement. From the 3rd century BCE, the Celts began arriving in the region. They intermingled with the local population, introducing new technologies and customs. However, it was the arrival of the Romans in the 1st century BCE that marked a turning point in the history of Toulouse. The city, then known as Tolosa, became an important center in Gallia Narbonensis, or Gallia Transalpina, benefiting from its strategic location along the Garonne River. In the year 418, the Visigoths established Toulouse as the capital of their kingdom, ushering in a period of cultural and architectural splendor. This era lasted until 508, when the Merovingian Franks, led by Clovis I, conquered the city and incorporated it into their expanding empire. From 768 onward, the Carolingian Franks, under Charlemagne, exerted nominal control over Toulouse. However, the fragmentation of the Carolingian Empire and internal power struggles allowed the county of Toulouse to gain greater autonomy, laying the foundations for its future importance in Occitania. The 11th century saw the rise of heterodox religious movements in the region, culminating in the Cathar movement in the 13th century. This doctrine, deemed heretical by the Catholic Church, led to the Albigensian Crusade, which lasted from approximately 1209 to 1229. The Kingdom of France used this conflict to reassert control over the region, sparking a war that combined religious and political motives, accompanied by intense inquisitorial persecution. Despite the repression, the 14th century witnessed significant efforts to preserve Occitan culture and poetry. This cultural movement helped keep the region's linguistic and artistic identity alive. Between the 15th and 16th centuries, Toulouse experienced an economic boom thanks to its flourishing textile industry, particularly the production of pastel dye. This blue pigment, associated with aristocracy, became a highly sought-after luxury item for dyeing fine fabrics, significantly contributing to the city's prosperity. In later centuries, Toulouse continued to play a key role in French and European history. One notable episode was its role as a refuge for Spanish Republicans and Communists fleeing Francoist persecution after the Spanish Civil War. Today, Toulouse is a center of technological innovation, particularly in the aerospace and aeronautical industries. It is home to Airbus, one of the world's largest aircraft manufacturers, and hosts key facilities for the Ariane project of the European Space Agency. Additionally, Toulouse has established itself as a major university city, attracting students and researchers from around the world. Its vibrant cultural life is complemented by a strong sporting tradition, with rugby being a fundamental part of its local identity. We are at Place du Capitole, in the heart of Toulouse's historic center. This public space combines the imposing facade of the Capitole, which we'll talk about shortly, with a gallery covered by elegant arcades. The gallery features frescoes and architectural details that enhance the civic character of the building. The square is used for events, markets, and gatherings, offering a vibrant atmosphere that reflects the daily life of the Ville Rose. This site is the civic and social epicenter of the city, symbolizing both Toulouse's municipal history and cultural tradition. The Capitole of Toulouse is one of the city's most important buildings and an undisputed symbol of its cultural and historical identity. Located in the central Place du Capitole, this majestic building houses both the Town Hall and the Théâtre du Capitole. Its artistic and architectural richness makes it an essential place to understand Toulouse's evolution. The Capitole dates back to the 12th century, when the municipal council members decided to build a headquarters for local governance. Initially, it was a complex of administrative buildings that expanded and transformed over the centuries. The current neoclassical facade, influenced by French classical styles, was designed by Guillaume Camas in 1750. Its 8 marble columns symbolize the 8 historic districts of Toulouse. This design unified the disparate architectural elements of the medieval structure, giving it its present appearance. In the 18th century, a major renovation added decorative elements such as columns, pediments, and murals. Later, in the 19th century, the square in front of the building was pedestrianized, restoring its civic and monumental character. Remodeled in 1892, the Salle des Illustres is one of the most impressive spaces in the building. It is decorated with murals that depict key episodes of Toulouse's history. Additionally, the room features terracotta busts honoring local historical figures. Salle Henri Martin is adorned with large canvases by this painter, renowned for his mastery of color and light. Salle Gervais features commissioned works that emphasize the symbolism of love as a vital force. The Municipal Council Room combines art and history, with walls decorated with paintings representing rural scenes and local landmarks. A commemorative plaque lists the city's mayors since 1790, turning this room into a living archive. The Cour Henri IV is a historic courtyard and one of the oldest remains of the Capitole. Built between 1602 and 1607, it is surrounded by galleries decorated with coats of arms representing the former municipal districts. The triumphal gate leads to this solemn space. The Capitole is not just an architectural and historical landmark. It is also a dynamic space hosting official events, civic ceremonies, and tourist visits. Additionally, its theater hosts opera performances and concerts, solidifying it as a cultural epicenter. Near the Basilique de Notre de la Daurade, which we'll discuss later, the Pont Neuf crosses the Garonne River. This historic bridge stands out for its well-preserved arches and robust structure. With more than 300 years of history, it offers a beautiful panoramic view of the river and the urban landscape. A short walk away, you'll find a charming and bohemian square, ideal for enjoying a coffee on a terrace, watching the city's movement, and soaking in the essence of Toulouse, while admiring the views of the Hôpital de la Grave. The silhouette of the Hôpital de la Grave is unmistakable and a key part of the city's identity. Its history is marked by the crucial role it played during outbreaks of the Black Plague from the 1300s onward. Finally, in 1647, it became primarily a hospital for the poor. Today, it is possible to visit its chapel. The Victor Hugo Market in Toulouse is much more than just a market. It is a local institution and an unmissable gastronomic experience. Located in the heart of the city, this covered market offers a wide variety of high-quality fresh products, from seasonal fruits and vegetables to meats, cheeses, seafood, and artisan bread. It is also famous for its restaurants on the upper floor. After exploring the stalls on the ground floor, you can head upstairs and choose from several restaurants that cook with the same fresh ingredients sold below. It's the perfect place to taste local gastronomy in a lively and authentic setting. The Basilique Saint-Sernin is one of Toulouse's most iconic monuments and an outstanding example of Romanesque architecture. Built between 1080 and 1120, it is the second oldest Romanesque church in France, after the Abbey of Cluny. Some of its most remarkable features include sculptural reliefs on the facade and interior, frescoes decorating the walls, a crypt housing significant relics and stone ornamentation throughout the structure. The Miège d'Or, dating back to the early 12th century, is particularly notable. Its Pyrenees marble tympanum depicts the ascension of Christ, surrounded by angels and the 12 apostles. The crypt, which was originally the primitive church, contains sacred relics, including what is believed to be the head and body of the Apostle James the Greater, though this claim is disputed by Santiago de Compostela Cathedral. The ambulatory of the basilica houses 7 marble bas-reliefs, including a Christ in Majesty. In the north transept, you can find a faithful reproduction of the original altar from 1096. The tomb of Saint Saturninus is covered by a Baroque baldachin from the 18th century. The basilica traces its origins to the martyrdom of Saint Saturninus, who was the first Christian bishop of Toulouse in the 3rd century. It also witnessed the inquisitorial process during the crusade against the Cathars, and over the centuries, it became an important pilgrimage site, a crucial stop on the way of St. James de Compostela, and a refuge during times of instability. Today, Saint-Sernin is a symbol of Toulouse's religious and artistic heritage, recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Convent of the Jacobins is another iconic monument of the city. It is a prime example of Southern Gothic architecture, built between 1250 and 1270. Its most remarkable feature is its grand central cloister, adorned with marble columns and capitals decorated with floral and animal motifs, as well as the famous palm tree of columns, an extraordinary structure of 11 ribs supporting an impressive 22-meter-high vault. The convent includes several notable spaces: the chapter house, the sacristy, the chapel of St. Antonin, adorned with 14th century murals, and the large refectory, which is now used for municipal exhibitions. The Basilica of Our Lady of La Daurade has an intriguing history that dates back to Roman times. It is said to have been built over an ancient Roman temple dedicated to Apollo, which was converted into a Christian sanctuary in the 5th century. During the Visigothic era, it likely served as a royal chapel for the Visigothic kings, and in the medieval period, it became the seat of a Benedictine abbey. The current basilica dates from the 18th century, built between 1764 and 1883 to replace the former Romanesque church. It features Baroque architecture with Renaissance influences. The apse was once covered with early Christian golden mosaics, which gave the basilica its name, Daurade, meaning golden. Inside, visitors can admire frescoes and Marian sculptures depicting the life of the Virgin. The central altarpiece is notable for its intricate detail and dramatic expression. The basilica also houses one of the city's oldest Christian relics, the Black Madonna. The Church of Our Lady of La Dalbade was built around the 6th century, consolidated in the 14th century, and underwent several later renovations. The Church of La Dalbade is one of the oldest sacred art landmarks in Toulouse, with origins dating back to the medieval period, around the 6th century. Its current name comes from the previous church that stood in its place, which was covered in whitewash, earning it the name Santa Maria de Albata, Saint Mary the White. The present structure, quite austere on the outside, is typical of Southern French Gothic architecture and dates from the late 15th century. Its bell tower, built in 1551, was designed by Nicolas Bachelier, the architect of the Pont Neuf, which we mentioned earlier, and the Hôtel d'Assézat, which we will explore later. A symbol of ecclesiastical power, its spire originally reached 87 meters in height, but was dismantled in 1795. It was rebuilt in 1881, rising to 91 meters, making it the tallest structure in the city until 1926. This bell tower, comparable to that of the Cathedral of St. Cecilia in Albi, tragically collapsed during the night of April 11th to 12th, 1926, at 3:15 a.m., killing several bakers and causing severe damage to nearby houses. The church, resembling a medieval fortress with thick walls, narrow openings, and a north tower with battlements, features a Renaissance-style tympanum on the facade, made of ceramic, depicting a reproduction of Fra Angelico's Coronation of the Virgin. The construction of Saint Etienne Cathedral began in the 13th century on the foundations of an ancient chapel built by Saint Saturninus and was progressively completed until the 16th century. It is primarily Gothic in style, with elements of Southern Gothic and Rayonic Gothic, as well as Renaissance details and decorative sculptures. The Cathedral of St. Stephen displays two distinctly different sections, one in Southern Gothic style, the rear part of the nave, and another in Rayonnant Gothic style, the choir. The rear part of the Raymondine nave, so called because it is attributed to Raymond VI, built starting in 1210, is of grand dimensions and is characterized by large cruciform pinnacles supported by robust buttresses and pilasters that reuse Romanesque capitals from the earlier structure. The choir, on the other hand, begun in 1272, follows the Ile-de-France Gothic or Rayonnant Gothic style. This space, twice as long as the nave, features luminous and detailed architecture, highlighted by altarpieces and wrought iron screens made in 1766. The vaulted ceiling of the choir rises to 28 meters and includes remarkable works such as the High Altar's altarpiece, created between 1667 and 1670, depicting the stoning of St. Stephen and a symbolic tetramorph. Additionally, the cathedral houses original 14th century stained glass windows. The Hôtel d'Assézat, built as a noble family residence, dates back to the 16th century. It was renowned for its elegant facade and inner courtyard, reflecting the refined taste of the aristocracy. Over the centuries, it has undergone significant transformations, making it a major cultural center. The architecture of the Hôtel d'Assézat, which blends the grandeur of the Renaissance with local influences, is a testament to the cultural and artistic exchanges of the period. Today, the building houses the Bemberg Foundation. It showcases Renaissance-style design, with an ornate facade and a beautifully decorated courtyard. Inside, different period salons have been recreated, featuring a mix of antique furniture, paintings, and valuable artifacts. The second floor is dedicated to modern painting, notably including 35 works by the post-impressionist Pierre Bonnard. Other notable artists featured include Guardi, Cranach the Elder, Veronese, Titian, and Fontaine-Latour. This fine arts museum is housed in the former Augustinian convent, which dates from the 14th century and was transformed into a museum in 1793, making it one of the oldest museums in France, second only to the Central Museum of Paris. Its architecture combines Gothic and Renaissance elements. It houses a vast collection that spans the finest stages of art history, painting, and sculpture, from the early Christian era to the early 20th century. The Saint-Raymond Museum is located in an 18th century building repurposed to house the archaeological collection. Its classical architecture elegantly frames Roman and early Christian discoveries, including sculptures, mosaics, sarcophagi, and archaeological remains that illustrate life in Roman Gaul, a time when Toulouse was a vital hub of the Roman Empire. Each exhibition is carefully curated to narrate the life, customs, and urban organization of Roman Gaul, showcasing everything from city planning to the daily life of its inhabitants. A significant highlight is an exhibition of reliefs and sculptures depicting the labors of Hercules. The building itself, with its classical architecture, reinforces the idea of historical continuity, serving as a witness to centuries of transformation and memory. The Les Abattoirs Museum is housed in a 19th century slaughterhouse. For decades, the former slaughterhouse served the local industry, but a 20th century urban revitalization initiative transformed it into an exhibition space where past and present merge. Today, it is a key space for contemporary art in Toulouse. The Cité de l'Espace is a theme park dedicated to space exploration. It was inaugurated in 1997 as a scientific outreach center, featuring interactive spaces and full-scale replicas of spacecraft, satellites, and other space-related elements. This theme park and science center serves as an educational and inspirational platform where full-scale replicas of satellites, rockets, and spacecraft invite visitors to explore the universe. The history of the Cité de l'Espace is closely tied to the development of pioneering aerospace companies that have made Toulouse a global reference in the industry. Since its inception, the center has explained and celebrated the technological milestones that have marked space exploration, bringing science closer to the general public. Founded in 1989, the Aeroscopy Museum showcases historic aircraft, including Concorde models and other iconic planes, scale models, and artifacts that document aviation milestones. It pays tribute to Toulouse's rich aeronautical tradition and the technological advancements that have revolutionized flight. Aeroscopia is deeply intertwined with the development of the aviation industry. Each exhibition tells the story of aviation's evolution, from early experimental flights to the Concorde era and contemporary innovations. Its halls feature scale models, remains of historic aircraft, and technical documentation that help visitors understand the complex engineering behind flight. Let's Visit Airbus is a unique experience that immerses visitors in the fascinating world of high technology and aeronautical engineering. During the tour, participants can observe real-time manufacturing processes, from component assembly to the final construction of aircraft, offering a privileged perspective on the sophistication and precision of modern engineering. Opened in 2012 in a repurposed industrial building, the Halle de la Machine is a contemporary space that integrates industrial aesthetics with spectacular mechanical and artistic installations, creating a playful and creative atmosphere. Its living machines, enormous animated mechanical creations, are true works of art in motion that combine engineering, performance, and visual creativity. The Toulouse Museum is an interactive and modern space that combines exhibition halls with scientific laboratories and a lush botanical garden. Upon entering, visitors are greeted by a spectacular skeleton of a giant winged dinosaur, whose outstretched wings dominate the space. Here are some ideas to extend your trip around the Toulouse area. We highly recommend visiting Albi. Here you will find the largest brick cathedral in the world, the Cathedral of St. Cecilia, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its covered market is also highly recommended, offering incredible local delicacies. Check out our walking tour of Albi, where we explore the city and the interiors of the cathedral. Several natural caves are also found near Toulouse, some of which are must-sees. We highly recommend the Gouffre de Padarac. Another breathtaking site in the region is Rocamadour, a sanctuary village built on multiple levels along the cliffside, clinging to the rock 120 meters above a canyon. Its houses, rooftops, and churches seem to merge with the rock, creating an absolutely spectacular view. Other noteworthy places if you plan to spend more time in this area include Conques, Rodez, Saint-Cercle-la-Popie, and Cahors. We have reached the end of this video summarizing everything we know about this charming city. We invite you to explore its streets, the interiors of its monuments, and its sounds in our walking tour, but don't miss the chance to visit the city in person and discover all its details. If you found this video useful, and the information here helped you plan your own tour of Toulouse, or if you simply enjoyed it, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel to discover other cities. Your support helps us immensely. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.